I'm joined by Cook County's Chief Sustainability Officer and Director of the Department of Environment and Sustainability, Deborah Stone, Jamie Myers, Energy Manager, Bureau of Asset Management, Deputy Director of the county's Department of Planning and Development, Mohammed Elahi, Cook County Department of Transportation and Highways Assistant Superintendent, Nate Rosebury, and of course, Forest Preserves Cook County Superintendent, Arnold Randall. It's been 52 years since the first Earth Day in 1970. And it's more important and imperative than ever that we act to ensure a clean and healthy environment for future generations, and we fight the devastating impacts of climate change. Sustainability is an environmental justice issue. Those who live in underserved communities have borne the brunt of pollution from the fossil fuel economy and disproportionately feel the impacts of climate change, such as flooding and heat emergencies. It is these same communities that have also been disproportionately affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Fostering sustainable communities is one of the 6 pillars of my policy roadmap, the strategic plan that guides actions of my administration. Like equity, engagement, and excellence, it's a commitment that I expect all across levels of county government. And I think you will see from the range of individuals here today that sustainability is an all-hands-on-deck project in Cook County government. Today, my administration is releasing the 2021 Cook County Sustainability Report. We continue to perform better than our target goals on greenhouse gas reduction. The county's buildings are our largest source of greenhouse gas emissions. One accomplishment noted in the report released today is that since I took office in 2010, we've reduced these emissions from our buildings by over 40%. We've committed to a goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 45% by 2030 and to becoming carbon neutral by 2050. As the report details, we are well on our way to reaching those goals. I believe Cook County government should lead by example, and I think our staff, along with the public, expects us to do this. Our annual report also deals about how we're taking action on climate change and environmental equity throughout our government, from our departments of environment and sustainability, transportation and highways, our Bureau of Economic Development, our forest preserves. While this report highlights the work my administration did in 2021, we have a responsibility to look forward and do more. We must showcase our commitment to environmental justice and to fighting climate change by investing in solutions that make a real difference. That's why we're allocating over $100 million of our American Rescue Plan resources to projects that support a clean environment and fight climate change. These projects will clean up contaminated brownfields, help lower-income residents reduce their home electric and water bills, and assure healthier indoor air, replace dangerous lead water service lines, and acquire land for the forest preserves in underserved parts of the county. We'll also fight flooding through both infrastructure and nature-based solutions, and focus investments in electric vehicle charging stations in underserved areas that do not now have these amenities. These are among the projects that we'll pursue. I made sure that the county managed a robust process, including extensive community engagement, to develop a responsible, comprehensive, and equitable spending plan for our ARPA dollars. Our plan uses ARPA one-time resources to support both immediate recovery needs and long-term transformative initiatives, such as many of these. It's now my pleasure to introduce the county's Chief Sustainability Officer, Deborah Stone, to tell us more about the accomplishments noted in the annual report and give us more information about upcoming projects. All right, there you are, good.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm Deborah Stone. I'm the Director of the Cook County Department of Environment and Sustainability, and I'm very pleased to present to you the Cook County's 2021 Annual Sustainability Report, which outlines the county's achievements in supporting healthy and resilient communities that thrive economically, socially, and environmentally. Last year, we made significant progress in implementing the Cook County Clean Energy Plan, which President Preckwinkle unveiled in 2020. The plan details, as she said, how the county will reach a 45% reduction in its greenhouse gas emissions at county buildings by 2030 and be carbon neutral by 2050. The plan also confirms President Preckwinkle's goal of having the county's owned and operated buildings use 100% renewable electricity by 2030. The plan's specific and doable and won a National Association of Counties Achievement Award. The Department of Environment and Sustainability granted 16 Solar Schools Awards to schools throughout Cook County to help educate youth about renewable energy, and there are additional grants to be made this spring. The county achieved significant sustainability milestones from 2019 to 2020, including a 10.7% overall reduction in greenhouse gas emissions from county facilities and operations, and a 5.3% reduction in our water use. My colleagues here today will speak to you about additional highlights from the report as well as some of their future plans. We must do as much as we can, as fast as we can, to fight climate change. I'm proud to say we're building on a solid foundation of accomplishments under President Preckwinkle's leadership. We look forward to even more progress in the coming year. Our future contributions to sustainability and a just environment for all residents of Cook County are receiving a significant boost thanks to President Preckwinkle's historic investment of over $100 million of ARPA funding that supports these goals. The Department of Environment and Sustainability has a number of initiatives that will receive funding, including the electric vehicle charging infrastructure project in coordination with local communities in disadvantaged areas that lack this service. A partnership with the Cook County Department of Public Health to provide a full suite of healthy home services, including energy and water efficiency to reduce utility bills and help improve indoor air quality in homes where public health is doing lead remediation. That's a program they're expanding, by the way, thanks to ARPA. And public health is also growing its good food purchasing policy program, which advances a healthy, sustainable, and equitable food system. We're implementing green infrastructure and nature-based solutions to flooding in hard-hit South suburban communities in the Calumet area. The department will also help manufacturing and other businesses to reduce their energy and water use, in addition to redeveloping contaminated brownfields into job-creating businesses and green space. We'll also provide new facilities and services for collecting household hazardous waste in the south suburbs where these services don't exist today. We're partnering also with the Department of Emergency Management and Regional Security, as well as Public Health, to work with local communities on resilience hubs that assist local partners with supporting residents, coordinating communication, and distributing resources during emergencies, all while helping to reduce carbon pollution and enhancing the quality of life. We'll also be undertaking pilot work with local municipalities to create and implement plans to make their communities more resilient in the face of climate change, in addition to making it possible for lower-income residents to afford renewable energy at their homes. Lastly, the department's undertaking an analysis of barriers to urban agriculture in suburban Cook County. I thank President Preckwinkle for her unwavering commitment to environment and to creating sustainable communities. And it's now my pleasure to introduce Jamie Myers, who is the Energy Manager with the Cook County Bureau of Asset Management.
Thank you, Deborah. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Jamie Myers. I'm the Energy Manager within Cook County's Bureau of Asset Management. I would also like to thank you, Madam President, for making sustainability a priority of your administration. The Cook County Bureau of Asset Management, which includes the Cook County Department of Real Estate, the Cook County Department of Capital Planning and Policy, and the Cook County Department of Facilities Management, is excited to take part in administering the Clean Energy Plan. As previously mentioned, we have made significant progress towards our goals. The numbers do speak for themselves. But I would like to share some of the behind-the-scenes work that helped make those numbers possible and will help the county meet its climate goals. The Cook County Real Estate Department has supported the use of green building standards for the new properties that we add to our portfolio. These standards ensure that we are setting energy efficiency and healthy indoor environments as priorities on new buildings. The successful opening of the Belmont Cragen Clinic is the latest example of implementing the green building standards. Energy efficiency measures include improvements in the building envelope, daylight harvesting, and high-efficiency lighting and HVAC equipment. This is one example of the support needed as outlined in the Clean Energy Plan. The Cook County Department of Capital Planning and Policy implemented multiple projects last year that directly led to the reductions in our greenhouse gas emissions. These projects included new lighting at the Bridgeview Courthouse, new chillers at the Department of Corrections campus, and new HVAC equipment at the Maywood campus. In addition, Capital Planning will be seeking contractors to install solar panels on the Skokie and Markham courthouses and various buildings on the Department of Corrections campus. These projects keep us on track to meet our goal of 45% emissions reduction by 2030 as outlined in the Clean Energy Plan. The Cook County Department of Facilities Management also played a role in the most recent greenhouse gas emission reductions. Using our own in-house skilled tradespeople, we were able to upgrade to LED lighting at the Juvenile Temporary Detention Center, the Rockwell Warehouse, and the Department of Corrections campus. We also piloted an energy savings challenge for our building engineers, asking them to see where energy is used, giving them the tools to reduce energy usage, implementing recommended actions, and creating long-lasting plans. These creative, no-cost operational changes led to over 400,000 kilowatt hours in electricity savings in just 4 months. This energy savings is the equivalent of powering 22 single-family homes for 1 year. The Bureau of Asset Management has also recently issued a request for proposals for off-site renewable energy. As the demand to address climate change grows, organizations are beginning to turn towards renewable energy and often look off-site to find a place needed to generate this energy. A common form of this project is the Power Purchase Agreement, or PPA. In a PPA, a developer builds and operates a renewable energy plant, and the client or subscriber will pay for the energy and renewable attributes that are created. Cook County looks to lead in this space and has asked for workforce development opportunities and local job creation, along with the renewable energy, in the recently issued request for proposal. By doing this, we hope to create a broader and lasting impact beyond just the renewable energy from the development of a renewable energy project. This is a critical step in meeting the 100% renewable energy goal as outlined in the Clean Energy Plan. The impacts of climate change disproportionately impact underserved communities and communities of color. Local government has the opportunity and responsibility to set an example and address these inequities. Cook County, under the leadership of President Preckwinkle, has prioritized equitably mitigating the impacts of climate change. We will continue to implement the strategies outlined in the Clean Energy Plan and are excited to share our next milestones and set the standard for the role of local government in addressing climate change. Thank you for your time, and I would like to introduce my colleague, Mohammed Elahi.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Madam President. Hi. Good morning, Mohammed Elahi. Happy Art Day. I am Deputy Director of Department of Planning and Development within the Bureau of Economic Development. Thank you for having me here today as the county releases its 2021 Sustainability Report to speak about Bureau of Economic Development's commitment to the environment and sustainability. In February 2020, Cook County announced its commercial property assessed clean energy program, joining 12 other counties in Illinois that offer this important program. The commercial property assessed clean energy program we call CPACE. CPACE provides a long-term fixed rate private capital to building owners for clean energy improvements to both existing and new commercial and industrial properties. The upfront capital helps to lower operating costs, generate clean energy, instill resiliency, and promote water use conservation in commercial properties. We have already closed 2 hallmark projects, including the renovation of a historic theater in Chicago's Bridgeport neighborhood and the conservation of a Calumet City vacant big box retailer, which has been vacant for 5 years, into a rapidly growing aquaponic vertical vegetable farm that supplies restaurants and supermarkets in the region. County's CPACE program provides property owners with an approach to create sustainable green building practices by essentially incentivizing the adoption of energy efficiency and renewable energy practices and applications. The financial resource report supports clean energy jobs and enhances the county's ongoing efforts to support clean energy capital improvements. As the second largest county in the United States, Cook County's adoption of CPACE has positioned us to join a clean energy movement that is sweeping the nation. Nationwide, cumulative energy savings from all property assets clean energy programs between 2000 and 2019 have been over 7.9 billion, that's with a B, kilowatt hours of energy saved. In terms of reduced greenhouse gas emissions, this is equivalent to abating 2.85 million metric ton of carbon, or preserving almost 38,000 acres of forest, or taking over 1.2 million passenger cars off the roads for a year. And I hope the county will add to growing in this number. CPACE is not just smart for environment, but it is good for the economy. CPACE financing is currently available in 37 states, including Illinois, and has funded over 2,500 qualifying projects nationwide for a total of over $2 billion, while also creating over 24,000 jobs between 2009 and 2020. As far as the American Rescue Plan, BED's upcoming ARPA programs will build on the infrastructure we developed with our partners during our COVID response efforts, which has created a springboard for effective programs and transformative initiatives that address the systemic challenges that limit the potential for equitable recovery and sustainable practices, including a lead service line that Deb Stone talked about, lead service line replacement program that will replace water lines that are a hidden source of lead contamination and water loss, and a focus on high-need communities. The water utility assistance program that will help households suffering from income loss and mounting bills during the pandemic. And a new initiative to better coordinate the county's capacity building assistance to municipalities with the goal of maximizing the impact of the current resource infusion and implementing priority capital improvement projects. Again, thank you, President Preckwinkle, for your continued leadership that will allow the Bureau of Economic Development and our counterparts across the county to deepen our commitment to providing programs to build sustainable communities. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Nathan Rosebury, Assistant Superintendent from Department of Transportation and Highways. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. Happy Earth Day, everyone. Good morning. I'd also like to thank Madam President for having the Department of Transportation and Highways here as well at this important event to highlight the great work Cook County is doing to support environmental sustainability for all our residents. Thanks to the leadership of Superintendent Killen, my boss, the Department of Transportation and Highways is doing our part to support countywide initiatives to the efforts in planning, implementation, and funding initiatives that promote sustainable modes of transportation like walking, biking, and taking transit. We're also ready to deliver more improvements with the expansion of federal funding through ARPA, which allows us greater flexibility to deliver improvements so vital to support a sustainable Cook County. First initiative I wanted to highlight is the development of our first ever Cook County Bike Plan. This plan is expected to be completed this summer with recommendations that look at locations where residents don't have easy access to trails and how we can help provide them. We are specifically considering equity for access, since Black and brown communities tend to have lower access to trails than other residents. We are also focusing on building bike infrastructure that appeals to all ages and comfort levels. The bike plan has helped our department better understand the needs of biking and our role to make things better, aiming to make safe and comfortable connections between the great assets like the trails maintained by our partners at the Forest Preserve throughout Cook County. We're also working to make transit a viable option for more residents of Cook County. We just finished the first year of our Fair Transit South Cook 3-year pilot project, which reduces fares up to 50% on the Metro Electric and Rock Island lines, as well as increased service on the Pace Route 352 Halstead. This pilot project is an example of the type of work contemplated in our Cook County Transit Plan, also currently under development. We plan to use both initiatives to help to refine our role in supporting transit, which is vital to our local economy of Cook County now and will become even more important as we move towards a more sustainable options for transportation. We are continuing to support local government with our Invest in Cook grant program, which has funded over 160 projects for approximately $40 million in the past 5 years. This year alone, we received 79 applications for projects, many with a priority of sustainability through bicycle and pedestrian improvement projects. We are eager to grow this program even more this year through the infusion of ARPA funds from the federal government to take on even more projects and allow for new improvements like electrical vehicle charging stations. We're also excited to partner with the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District to expand the scope of the existing stormwater management program. Expanding this MWRD initiative with Cook County funds will build climate resiliency within more Cook County communities through increased identification and implementation of flood mitigation projects, focusing on areas where flooding has been exacerbated by the increase in heavy rain events. It's now my pleasure to introduce Superintendent of Forest Preserves of Cook County, Arnold Randall. Thank you.
Good morning and happy Earth Day.
Good morning.
Every day is Earth Day in the Forest Preserves, by the way. I'm happy to be here today as part of this team working to address climate change and to create a more sustainable government operation. The Cook County Department of Environment and Sustainability in particular has been an invaluable asset to the Forest Preserves of Cook County in our efforts, and I want to personally thank Deborah Stone for her work and her partnership. Like the Cook County departments here today, the Forest Preserves is led by President Preckwinkle, and her vision to a better, more equitable future for Cook County has been our guide in our sustainability efforts, and I want to thank her too for her commitment and her support. With more than 70,000 acres of natural public land, the Forest Preserves of Cook County are a critical environmental, conservation, and sustainable resource for us all. The forests and natural habitats within the Forest Preserves absorb as much atmospheric carbon dioxide as about 300,000 cars in an average year. The wetlands and other ecosystems in the Forest Preserves help mitigate flooding by absorbing rain during storms. And thousands of species of plants and animals, including more than 100 threatened and endangered species, depend upon the natural areas in the Forest Preserves of Cook County for their home. As an organization, the Forest Preserves has a role in a greener future too. Back in 2018, the Forest Preserves Board of Commissioners adopted our Sustainability and Climate Resiliency Plan, and last year they adopted our Clean Energy Framework, which we modeled after the Cook County Framework. Together, these documents are a commitment and a roadmap to net zero greenhouse gas emissions at the Forest Preserves by 2050. Along the way, we will reduce greenhouse gas emissions at our facilities by 45%, and be fully reliant on renewable energy for our building portfolio in 2030. Earlier this year, we produced a progress report on our efforts since 2018. Since then, we have offset 100% of our electricity and natural gas use with the purchase of renewable energy credits. We restored more than 4,300 acres of land to the highest quality of ecological health. That improves local ecosystems and stores more carbon. We've hosted more than 600 conservation and sustainability-focused public events, and we've expanded our recycling program and distributed another 200 recycling cans around the Forest Preserves. And there's much more that I won't detail here. Working closely with Cook County, we're excited for the upcoming opportunities to bring American Recovery Plan Act resources to the Forest Preserve efforts that support a clean environment and fight climate change. That includes ecological restoration of the preserves that will remove invasive plants and restore native habitats. That will include funding to expand and bring more young people and people facing barriers to employment into our Conservation Corps program. I want to thank the Bureau of Economic Development for their partnership on this. And it also includes funding to acquire more land that will be protected as forest preserves in southeast Cook County, which is a priority for us both as an equity issue and a way to protect open land that is potentially threatened by new development. The Forest Preserves has made sustainability and racial equity, diversity, and inclusion two overarching goals that cut across all our departments and all of our plans. We continue to look for new ideas and opportunities to improve our work on these issues. I'm proud that we are working with these partners here today to advance our goals. Thank you.
How will the county decide where electric charging stations will go, and how many stations is the county hoping to install?
All right.
Thank you for the question. And for the number, I might call on one of our staff, but this is going to be developed through a bottoms-up community planning process. First of all, we're looking at those areas of suburban Cook County that do not now have electric vehicle charging stations, and there are vast areas in the south and west suburbs where this is the case. We will be looking at where electric vehicle charging stations can serve heavily trafficked public facilities, but also heavily trafficked business and commercial facilities or community centers. And we'll work with local communities to see where they want them and where they would be comfortable bringing their vehicles. We're also looking in particular at where there is a heavy preponderance of rental housing. Renters in particular have a hard time accessing electric vehicle charging stations for obvious reasons, because they don't necessarily control their physical plant. So all of those factors and a very lively community bottoms-up planning process are going to play a part. And I think for the numbers, if it's all right, we'll get those and return them to the questioner.